You know, these rules may seem self-evident, but I need something I can visually see to be reminded. Let's take hydration, for example. I can't tell you how hard it is for me to stay on track. Hey gang, welcome back to Mark's 60 Plus Fitness Journey. Now, as many of you probably know, I started this channel to share this 60-plus-year-old man's fitness journey. And in that spirit, in today's episode, I would like to share what I call Mark's 10 rules for aging better, aging stronger, aging more successfully. I've had these bopping around in my head for a while, and I just recently codified them into a single document, and that's what I would like to share today. So let's get right at it. Okay, rule number 1 for Mr. Mark here is no alcohol. Quit alcohol, no alcohol at all. Now, if you know my story, if you've been around my channel for a while, you know I had some problems with alcohol. I'm an alcoholic, and I have been sober now for over 8.5 years. And I've shared that story in a couple of videos, but if you're curious, I'll link the first video up here in the corner to explain that episode. But suffice it to say that for me to be successful in life, much less have a fitness journey, there's no alcohol for me. Okay, rule number 2, no sugar, or as little sugar as possible. So quit sugar. I have a sweet tooth. I think it's genetic, inherited. And I know for my physiology, the way my body works, I do better when I eliminate sugar and simple carbs like pasta and rice and things like that, white bread or bread in general. I just do better with a lower carb diet, a no sugar diet, a higher protein, higher fat diet. I just operate better myself. So for me, quit sugar and limit simple carbs as much as possible. Okay, rule number 3, and this is very important for all of us as we age, and older folks tend to not get enough protein. So every day I focus on getting a proper amount of protein. Now for me, I like to consume at least a gram per body weight. So I weigh 182 pounds or 183 pounds this morning. I'm going to eat at least 183 grams of protein today. And normally I shoot for about 200 grams of protein a day. That may seem like a lot, but that's what we need, especially if we're busy, if we're doing resistance training as I do, just in general to help us older folks maintain our muscle mass. Rule number 4, and this is one I do really well with, sleep discipline. Now, I've been retired now for a little over 3 years, and you know how it is when you're in the working world. Most of us are sleep deprived. Now, thank goodness, in the last 3 years or so, I've been able to control my own sleep habits, and I try to get, at a minimum, 8 hours of sleep a day. And believe it or not, in addition to that, I usually take me a nap in the middle of the afternoon, and I'm not apologetic about it. I like it. It makes me feel better. And sleep, to me and to most folks, is absolutely integral to resting, rehab, and having the body restore itself back to health. Okay, rule number 5. I want to get some cardio in every day. Now, I have two parts to this cardio, and that's anybody that's doing cardio, there's only really 2 parts you can have: anaerobic and aerobic. Now, the anaerobic is the type of cardio where you're huffing and puffing, your heart rate's elevated. Think of high intensity interval training, HIIT training, which just happens to be like the weight training I do. My weight training is more or less HIIT training and that is my anaerobic activity, cardio activity for today, for the day. And I couple that with the aerobic part of my cardio, which is the lower heart rate, stable heart rate type of activity, such as walking. Again, if you've been following me on this channel, you know I'm an avid walker. I love to walk outside. I occasionally get on the treadmill, a little boring, but walking and for the aerobic and resistance training for the anaerobic constitutes my cardio for the day. And I would say my cardio, combining those two things, probably takes at a minimum 2 hours a day if I combine the resistance training with the walking. So cardio, very important element of my fitness journey. Rule number 6. Now this one is in red because this is a kind of a newer focus for me, and one that I haven't been paying a lot of attention to, and that is mobility / flexibility. I'm not real good with this, but I'm determined to get better with this, in particular because my hips need some mobility improvement, my shoulder girdle needs some mobility improvement, and along that line, I have scheduled an appointment with a physical therapist, a physio guy who specializes in sports rehabilitation, sports performance, that type of thing. And that's going to be 3 or 4 weeks from now. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm going to do a video on that to let everyone know what that involved and where that's going to take me. But rule number 6, and I'm working on it, mobility / flexibility. Rule number 7. This is one that I've historically had trouble with as well, is hydration. I don't drink enough water, and I've been, the last month or two, based on Mrs. 60 Plus Fitness's example, I have been carrying water with me most places I go and drinking water throughout the day. And water is not the only source of hydration. There's other good sources, like, regular milk, for example, is a good source of hydration. But I am working on that. I want to stay hydrated. Hydration is a very vital part of our day-to-day health. And I'm working on that, and I'm doing much better on my hydration. Okay, rule number 8. TRT / HRT. That's testosterone replacement therapy, or some places you hear it called hormone replacement therapy. Now, I'm not going to get into that too deeply now, but I do want to say that I want to be as transparent and forthright with what I do. Like I said, I want to share my fitness journey, and this is part of it. But I made several videos regarding this, but the first video I made about 3.5 years ago, I will link up in the corner and down in the description, explaining the ins and outs and the whys of why I did this. But I will continue to do it because I see the benefits, and it's in a controlled environment with a doctor, with blood work. And like I said, it's worked well for me. I know it's controversial with some folks. And if you want to know more about that or about why I did it, feel free to contact me. I'd love to talk about it. Rule number 9 is one that I really love. And this is something I get to do more now since I've retired. And that's just expanding my world, using my noodle, my noggin, my brain, read more, learn new things that I wouldn't ordinarily, gravitate towards. Just explore and expand. That's important, for a lot of reasons, but mainly, we don't want to become sedentary, physically or mentally. So, read, learn, explore, expand. Okay, finally, rule number 10. This is kind of a catch-all, I suppose, but for me, it's just to continue to develop good habits, like sleep, like hydration, like watching my diet, my protein intake, keeping my my journals. I keep journals, my workout journal, for example. Just good, positive habits. And if I see a bad habit that, taking form, like sitting down and watching too much TV, or posture, that's another one I'm working on, trying to improve my posture, things like that. So it's kind of an all-encompassing, day-to-day, keep an eye on things type of a rule. Develop good habits. Now, with all that being said, the whole goal of these 10 rules is to, make my life better, to make my aging body work better, which will in turn make life more enjoyable. I want to increase my health span. I want to be healthy as long as I can. A long lifespan doesn't necessarily mean a healthy lifespan. I want to be able to be moving around and having fun and aware and mobile for as long as I can. And along that line, these 10 rules are going to help me maintain, maybe even increase my muscle mass, which is going to help my bone density, which is going to help my strength, which is going to, all that's going to tie together and help my balance, which is all part of my mobility and my flexibility. All of these things tie together into making me a healthier 64-year-old man, hopefully many, many years longer. All right, there it is. Mark's 10 rules for aging more successfully, aging better, aging stronger. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on those rules, and I'd love to hear some of your rules to help you along your fitness journey to help you age better. And I'd also like to say thank you very much for taking time out of your busy day to stop by and visit. And if you do me one more favor, well, maybe two, go ahead and hit that like button, share this with your friends, and a third thing, if you haven't already, consider clicking that subscribe button. If you're already this far in the video, just go ahead and reach down there and click it. Doesn't hurt, doesn't cost anything, and we'd love to have you here. And with that, I will say, until next time, go get 'em. Mark out.